Hello everyone, this is Warish, and today's video is the Final Fantasy XIV picked up the dungeon Doma castle. And today I will be talking about the 4.05 update that just recently happened. The two biggest things that were added was the raid dungeon Omega Delta Escape Savage mode, as well as the addition of the Allegan Tombstones of Creation. And just like any of the other ones before, you can only get 450 per week with a 2,000 cap, so that's pretty much the same as any of the other times that they've added the new one, the new tombstone. There have also been some battle skill adjustments for Paladin. For Oath Mastery, the Oath gauge will no longer be had when switching between the two oaths, which should be helpful. Holy Spirit potency reduced from 430 to 400, so that's not really too bad. I mean, it hurts a little, but it shouldn't be too much to worry about. For Warrior, Defiance, the Beast gauge will no longer be had when Deliverance is executed while under the effects of Defiance, so that should be helpful. And Deliverance, the Beast gauge will no longer be had when Defiance is executed while under the effect of Deliverance, which is basically the same thing, which is helpful. Storm's Path combo potency increased from 250 to 270, so that's helpful. Unchained Beast gauge cost has been removed, so that should help. Steel Cyclone, the additional effect, absorb a portion of damage dealt as HP has been added, which I don't know how much of the damage return would be, but in the old 1.0 version that was very helpful. You could stay alive easily if you use the Stone Cyclone. As well as inner release Beast gauge cost has been removed, so again that should help. All those changes seem to put Warrior in the right direction. It should really help out any Warrior playing. The Dark Knight, the Soul Eater, combo potency increased from 280 to 300. That's not too big of an increase, but that should help. And Dark Arts combo potency increased from 420 to 440. Again, that should help a little bit. Quietus, the additional effect restores own MP has been added. Depending on how much you really get back, it should be really helpful. So Dark Knight really didn't get too much. It's nice that they increased it a little bit, but I guess I would think it needs a little more work to put it in the same balance as Warrior and Paladin. The Dragoon, elusive jump, recast time reduced from 60 to 30 seconds. Blood of the Dragon duration increased from 15 to 20 seconds, so that should be helpful. Sonic Thrust, the combo bonus, increases Blood of the Dragon duration by 10 seconds to a maximum of 30 seconds has been added. Dragon Sight, range increase from 6 to 12 yalms. Lance Mastery, potency increase change from 30. Potency increase change from 30 to 100. The Mirage Dive, animation lock after executing has been shortened. So those changes for Dragoon is not too much. It's not that helpful, a little bit, but still needs some work. For Ninja, Gust Slash, combo potency reduced from 220 to 200, so that's not too bad. It's a little bit of a hit, not too bad though. The Machinist, the quick reload no longer reduces the heat gauge. Hot Shot increases physical damage effect, change from 5% to 8%. Increase the heat gauge reduced from 10 to 5. Spread Shot increases increased to heat gauge reduced from 10 to 5. Barrel stabilizer recast time reduced from 120 to 60 seconds. Heated split shot increased to health gauge reduced from 10 to 5. Heated slug shot increased to heat gauge reduced from 10 to 5. Heated clean shot increased to heat gauge reduced from 10 to 5 as well. Rook reload potency increased from 400 to 800, and bishop overload potency increased from 300 to 600. So that all seems okay. I don't really play Machinist, but I have been reading the forums, and it seems that those changes really didn't help them too bad. I guess the core aspect of the job itself still needs a lot of work to actually make it more balanced, so it's not the worst BD job. For Black Mage, fire MP cost reduced. I don't know about how much for each one, but that should be helpful. Fire 4 cast time reduced from 3 to 2.8 seconds. Lizard 4 MP cost reduced. Cast time reduced from 3 to 2.8 seconds. Foul MP cost reduced to 0. And triple cast recast time reduced from 90 to 60 seconds. So all of that seems pretty good for Black Mage, especially the triple cast. And if you can use that pretty much every minute, that should be very helpful to do more damage. And just like the Swift cast, Summoner, the Dread Wyvern Trance, 8th tier flow actions are no longer required to inflict an effect on the target to gain 8th Trail attunement, which I don't really know what that is. I don't play Summoner, at least not really too much. But I have been reading, on the forums that really didn't help. The job. What they need is a lot more help than that. So hopefully, as people keep giving feedback, they will listen, and hopefully they do fix it in the next update, which is probably the 4.1. I'm not sure if they're gonna have another smaller, like 4.08 or something. For White Mage, the Plenary Indulgence, I don't know if I said that right. Party members will no longer be granted in Confession when HP is restored via Cure and Cure 2. They will instead be granted a Confession when HP is restored via Medica 2, and Cure 3. The chance of granting party members a Confession has been increased from 20% to 100%. The duration of the Confession has been reduced from 30 to 10 seconds. Healing potency based on the number of stacks. Confession has been reduced from 400 for 1 stack, 500 for 2 stacks, and 600 for 3 stacks, to 150 for 1 stack, 300 for 2 stacks, and 450 for 3 stacks. Recast time increased from 15 to 20 seconds. Confession stacks will now also be granted to the player casting Medica 2, and Cure 3. So that is a little bit of help. It's still not a very great skill, especially being their level 70 skill. I could see it being used in more like endgame type dungeons and raids and stuff. Like you use the Medica once or twice, and then you can use that right away. But not really in like smaller dungeons and stuff. I don't think the bosses would use so many AoE skills at a time where you would really need to use it. So it is better, but it's still not really that great of a skill. And also the Secret of the Lilies, chance healing the party member via Cure will be added to the healing gauge, increase from 50 to 100%. So now to get the lilies, you should be able to get it 100% of the time, whether you use Cure 1 or Cure 2. So that'll be a lot easier to get the lilies and stack them if you need them. But the lilies themselves still isn't that great of a skill. It's a little helpful, yes, since it does reduce the recast time for like 3 different skills. But I think they should also add some kind of potency increase for each lily that you do have. But overall, White Mage is okay. It's not really doing that bad. For Scholar, Emergency Tactics, reduce recast time, reduced from 30 to 20 seconds. In Vulnerability, Healing Potency increased from 400 to 500. Excondidation. Healing Potency increased from 650 to 800. Duration increased from 30 to 45 seconds. Recast time reduced from 60 to 45 seconds. Fey Union, range increased from 10 to 15 yalms. The fairy gauge will no longer deplete when channeling from Fey. Union is interrupted. 8th tier pack, 8th tier flow actions are no longer required to inflict an effect on the target to increase the fairy's gauge. And Quicken, 8th tier flow, reduction to the recast time of 8th tier flow changes from 10 to 5 seconds. Chance to reduce the recast time of 8th tier flow increase from 20 to 100%. So all that seems pretty good. I have been reading the forums and most scholars are very happy with those changes. I think they could probably still use some work, but overall it's a lot better than it used to be. The Astrologian, the balance, single target increased to damage dealt, reduced from 20 to 10%. The Spear, single target, the effect of this ability has been changed from reduce ability recast time for a party member or self by 20% for 20 seconds to increase the critical hit rate for a party member or self by 10% for 20 seconds. The balance area effect, increase the damage dealt, reduced from 10 to 5%. The Spear area of effect, the effect of this ability has been changed from reduce the ability to recast time for a party member or self by 10% for 20 seconds to increase the critical hit rate for targets and all nearby party members by 5% for 20 seconds. When draw, recast time reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. Hyper light speed no longer reduces the recast time of light speed upon restoring critical hit with Benfic or Benfic 2. The recast time of light speed will now be reduced upon executing essential dignity. Reduction to the recast time of lightning speed change from 5 to 10 seconds. I don't play Astrologian, so I don't really know. I guess if those are good or not. I have been reading the forums and it seems okay. It doesn't really hurt them that much or anything, so they still are a very good job to play as. So overall, that's good. And the healer role actions in Suna and MP cost reduced, which isn't really anything. I mean, in Suna really didn't cost much anyways, so that's, I guess, okay. So overall, most of the changes are pretty good. There still needs to be a lot of changes for Summoner, because I know a lot of people aren't happy with how they've changed it, and they really need to add more skills or change things to fix it and make it more balanced than how it was before. As well as Monk, there's a lot of people that are angry about how they changed it, so they really need to help them out. And Dragoon and Machinist both need some help as well. So hopefully they keep reading people's feedback and everything, and they do get around to fixing it sooner They've also added a couple of other little small things like new furnishings, and new crafting recipes, as well as some minions and some mounts. You know, so I'm pretty sure some of them would be from the Savage, or probably crafted, you know, with some of the new items you can get. That's it for this patch. It wasn't a big numbered patch, you know, like 4.1, so it shouldn't really have added too much, you know, no new dungeon or anything like that. But overall, most of these additions, the jobs and the trials and everything are helpful. Hopefully the next patch that we get, you know, helps out the other jobs that still need help.
Die! We go together! Die! Die! Die!
If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Until next time, take care.